Good morning, guys. Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. It is Saturday, 7:25 in the morning, and I'm going to do a quick update on SingularityNET token AGIX. We did an update on it yesterday and talked about this structure here being a possible 1, 2, and then a 3, 4, 5 down to finish our fifth wave of this potential A, B, C. And then from there, moving up. That structure is starting to look a little weak and starting to look like this may be something a little different. Really, until we break above the top of this 4-wave here, which is about 32.5 cents, I'm still going to assume that we drop down into our fifth wave. But there is certainly possibilities of this morphing into something slightly different. As of right now, this would be an extremely deep 2-wave, which would be this here. You'd have your 1 down like that, and then you would have an A, B, C for a 2, and then you would start to impulse downwards if this was indeed a 2-wave, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. But like I said, this thing is extremely 2. It's wicking into the 887 retracement level right now, which is a very, very deep 2. Typically, I don't like to see 2s sustain a break below or above, in this case above, the 786 area in order for this to be a 1-2. Again, it's still possible as long as it is below that 32.5 cent mark. So, as long as we're below that, I'm going to have to assume downwards pressure is more likely. But the way this wave is acting currently is kind of really starting to question that idea and throwing up some hints that this might be doing something slightly different, which that something could be this WXY structure that I have on here that we talked about yesterday briefly, which would be, a 3-wave structure as such, and then you would have this A, B, and then a C here, which right now, if we do get that structure, we're targeting roughly 40 cents. And if we throw our fib retracement level on here from the top all the way down to the bottom, that lines up with 50% retracement to roughly 618. 50% retracement is about 39 cents. 618 retracement is about 44 cents, which the 618 retracement lines up almost dead nuts with the 1618 of this ABC. And as we've seen in the past with crypto, that would be certainly an extreme and extended zigzag structure, but it certainly is not out of the ordinary with crypto to extend in a 3-wave structure all the way up to 1618. Typically, zigzags go to the 1.0 to 1236 extension level. And usually if they go up to 1618, that starts to potentially raise another count brewing, which could be a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you'd get a 4 and then a 5. But you would absolutely have to have this 5-wave structure in order to, say, okay, we've got a potential bottom in, and then we would have to hold a 3-wave down and then break back above the top of that 5-wave structure. So that would have to play out in order for, me to really start to assume or consider that the bottom may be in. And if this 5-wave structure does develop, this first wave here doesn't really look impulsive. It looks more corrective, but it's a pretty extreme move. So I'm sure there is some sort of way I could count that as a 1-wave. But if not, it's an ABC and a 3-wave. And even even if it is a three-wave structure, you still can have a leading diagonal in a five-wave structure, which would be a valid one-wave impulse up. The only difference with the leading diagonal is you would have overlap into your one wave. So you could have something like this where you've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 overlapping into your 1, and then a 5 up, and then the 3, and then a break back above your 1, your fifth wave. So that's still on the table and still a possible scenario. But my primary until we break above 32.5 cents is that we do get rejected down. Once we break above, if we break above this 32.5 cent level, then I will assume that we will get rejected somewhere up in this zone. Currently that's targeting out at 4.033, about 40 cents as of right now, which we can dive into the details just a little bit. So again, if this is an A, B, C, this box here is the fib extension of our ABC, which again is 1.0, 1236, and 1618 in an extreme ABC zigzag, which would look like this: A, B, C, and then you would have your rejection down like so. So this C wave, which looks currently impulsive, if this is a C wave, it could obviously morph into a WXY and end up being a three-wave structure, which would look like this: an A, a B, and then say an A, B, C, like that, and it doesn't make an actual five-wave impulse. That's possible too, but as of right now, this is looking like a one wave, a possible two wave, and then our three wave target is about 37.7 or so, and then our five wave target, I usually target the 2.0 extension for fifth waves. There's several ways to get targets for it. I mean, once we do top in the three wave, you can get a better target with a couple different methods, but just assuming right now that we do hit the 2.0 extension, that would be right at about 41 cents or so. So that is where this fifth wave would currently be targeting if that is the case. So those are the scenarios that I see right now. But again, for the most part, until we break above that high, this local top here, I'm going to assume that we get rejected, which has a pretty good risk reward ratio from a trading standpoint. If we throw, if you short up here, you wouldn't want to short with high leverage, obviously, but that could, if you were shorting this, your risk to reward ratio is 13.83, which is crazy. You could, roughly enter, and obviously this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. So I do this just for fun, entertainment, education. That's it. But if I was shorting this thing, you could put your short in at 318, 319, 32 cents, and then put your stop loss just above, the top of this 4, somewhere around 32.7 or so. And that would be, you're risking 3% of whatever you allocate towards that trade. Plus, if you're playing on leverage, obviously that 3% is going to be higher. If you've got a 5x leverage, you'd be risking 15%. But the RR, the risk to reward ratio, on something like this is certainly there. So I will probably look at attempting, a short up here in this zone with this kind of structure. And then if we do break above that and we sustain above it, then I would flip my bias and I would actually start to look for longs. But that's neither here nor there. So we'll see how it plays out, and I'll keep this thing updated as we go. And guys, if you do want to see more daily updates on these, and more setups, I do have a premium Discord you can join. Check that out. I've got a link below, and I do update this every single day. And I can obviously answer any kind of questions that you may have if you are in my premium Discord. All right, see y'all later.